I've been a practitioner of the Golden Dawn system for about 30 years now. I stopped counting it at some point, but about 30 years. So we had an anniversary party a few years back for 30 years of studying the Golden Dawn system. And we have been actively involved for about the last 20 years in building temples and sanctuaries around the world and helping to educate people, learn more about the Western mystery tradition and what it can do for them, and trying to kind of enlighten people about what the Golden Dawn system is all about in the Western mysteries and Hermeticism and the Kabbalah and all of that. Because there's a lot of people that just simply don't know. But once they find out, they become very excited and motivated to learn more. And it's like this awakening takes place, this super awakening takes place, and they go, I want to know more. And then they realize that they can empower their life through the Golden Dawn system, and then they become absolutely hungry to learn the system and become an initiate of the fraternity. That's one thing it is. It's a fraternity of like-minded people. It's not a religion. So we have people from every walk of life. We have pagans, we have Christians, we have Orthodox, we have Jews, we have Muslims, we have Gnostics, we have just about, did I leave anybody out? Buddhists, yes, we left out the Buddhists and the Hindus. But we have just about every religion under the sun a part of the Golden Dawn. Well, the Golden Dawn essentially is a mystery school. And a mystery school is kind of what its name implies. There is the outer mysteries, and then there are inner mysteries. The inner mysteries are taught and codified and handed down mouth to ear, as they say. And I don't mean that in a comical sense, but it's handed down verbally. The Golden Dawn is the outer school that prepares people for the inner school of the divine mysteries, or the mysteries of life, the mysteries of self-mastery. But in order to study those inner mysteries, it's really important that a person have a solid, well-founded background in the outer mysteries of the Golden Dawn, which are Hermetic in nature. They study Hermeticism, Kabbalah, astrology, the Tarot, geomancy, and learning to work with angels and divine forces. I do want to clear one thing up, because people ask this question. They say, well, I mean, we're talking about a lot of things here that are to some people that are on the fringe. But the Golden Dawn was founded by high-grade Masons. These were top-of-the-line Masons that were involved in Masonry in 1887. And Samuel Little McGregor Mathers, William Wynne Westcott, who was one of the coroners of London, and of course Robert Woodman, Dr. Robert Woodman, who was a physician. And we also have people like William Butler Yeats, who was a member of the Golden Dawn, and others. So Florence Farr, who was a famous actress at that time, she was a member of the Golden Dawn. The man who brought, I believe, yoga and some of the Eastern teachings to England, Alan Bennett, was a member of the Golden Dawn. So we've had some very prominent people over the years who were members of the Golden Dawn, or who were associated. For example, George Bernard Shaw was not an actual member of the Golden Dawn, but he had a relationship and dated Florence Farr for years, who was one of the leaders of the Golden Dawn Temple in England. We teach these as tools. Think of going through life, and when you're born, nobody hands you a manual and says, this is how you go through life. This is what you do. Here's how you can make your life easier. Here's how you can make the right decisions at the right time. Here's how you can advance yourself spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, psychologically. There's no manual. that we're born with. So the mystics and the alchemists throughout history, they took all these tools, these sacred tools that you've talked about, you were asking about, like geomancy and tarot and so forth, and astrology, and they studied them and they made a science out of them. And what the Golden Dawn did was, if you will, to use this analogy, is it kind of took a toolbox and said, let's put all of these into a toolbox so that a person has the right tool in their life at the right time. So perhaps tarot is not the right tool for everybody. Maybe geomancy is. Perhaps working and meditating on different aspects of the tree of life, or on some other aspects of alchemy and hermeticism, or working with angelic forces. There's an entire toolbox. And the nice thing about the order is it doesn't require you to use any one of those tools. If any one of those tools are against your religious or moral or civic obligation, you can throw the tool out personally. You don't have to use it. Now, we're going to teach it to you because we think it's important that you learn that tool, and that you have the opportunity to make a choice at some point in the future. But after you've learned the tool, you can say, hey, that tool doesn't work for me, or it doesn't fit with my personal lifestyle or paradigm, but I do like this tool. So it's a massive toolbox of knowledge that we're handing somebody.